All right, so here are some recent statistics pulled today, as a matter of fact, for the real estate market here in Massachusetts. And these are year to date. So they're all 2021 data, and they're also year over year. So these numbers are compared here to last year at the same time. And it's kind of interesting, but not too surprising. The number of listing units for single family in the first column are down over 12%. You know, we've all heard it's a tight market. And for condos, they're down over 25% from last year. So again, low inventory for condos. But for multifamilies, inventory is actually up almost 20% from last year. And so maybe that represents an opportunity for the multifamily buyer right now. For whatever reason, you know, maybe the eviction moratorium or coming to an end, or the fact that rents are down from, during the pandemic, rents took a hit. So that could be why the multifamily market has more inventory. And the single family and multifamily markets do tend to kind of be converse to each other, where, if single families become more affordable, most people do want to own a home, so they will opt to buy if they can rather than rent. So it does sort of make sense that they're the opposite of each other. And average listing price, the second row, is up for across the board. It's up over 13% for single families, and which is amazing year over year. That's unheard of. And also condos is up 15%, and for multifamilies up just over 6%. Average sale price for condos is, for single families, it's up almost 19% again, which is huge appreciation year over year, but driven a lot by the pandemic, because the inventory has been low, the interest rates have been so low, and people are just looking for the single family more than anything else. But condos are also up over 12% year over year, which is a healthy increase, because again, the average is around 5%, and multifamilies are up just over 9%. And I think interest rates, again, are a huge factor in those price increases, because affordability is high right now. People can afford to pay more, and the numbers still work. And for average days on market, it's a fast market across the board. So 63 days is the average for single family. And by the way, anything less than 6 months is considered a seller's market. And anything 6 months is considered balanced, and anything over 6 months is considered a buyer's market. It's been a long time since we've been in a buyer's market here in Massachusetts. 10 years ago, when I first got my license, it was a buyer's market back in 2010. And then since about 2012, the market has steadily increased in average value, and it's been a seller's market since 2012. So across the board, so condos, 73 days on market is the average, and for multifamilies, about 60. So what that means for buyers is that it is pretty competitive, although we've started to see just in the past couple months over the summer where it's become less competitive and a little bit slower, not quite as many bidding wars, and the inventory is starting to pick up, and also the days on market is starting to increase. So maybe that's just an effect of summer and people focusing more on traveling and making up for lost time, enjoying themselves, getting out there in the world. It'd be interesting to see what happens in the first couple weeks of September, if that trend continues or if it gets back to a more fast-paced market. We'll see. But that's where we are right now. So it's still a great time to be a buyer, because the interest rates are still low. We don't know how long that will last, but you definitely don't want to be looking back at this time and saying, I wish I'd bought when. I could have locked in that low interest rate for 30 years.